So since 7.3 has been out for a few weeks and all the changes have been made, everything's kind of settled down, and I think it's safe to say that I've come to a conclusion about the patch. I haven't done a review like this before, but I'm going to try one now. But the review is that 7.3 so far is the greatest patch that Blizzard has ever added to World of Warcraft. There's obviously a few ways that I'm going to try to explain as to why it's my favorite. I have been playing since Classic, so of all the patches, this one is kind of special to me, and it sticks out. I think is the greatest thing. But I want to give my review and talk about some of the lore and that we got with the patch and some of the reasons as to why I think it's the best patch. So first off, let's start with aesthetics. So Argus and even Azeroth are so beautiful on the planet. When you look back or when you're looking down, it's beautiful. But so far, I have to say this is the zenith or the apex, the pinnacle, if you will, of Blizzard's art team. And I'm sure they'll outdo themselves in a later expansion. But stepping into Argus on Crocun, I was blown away from the first time. Everything looked destroyed and Legion infested. Looking back on Azeroth made the universe feel so big, and that's a feeling that I thought World of Warcraft always needed back. Was we need something to feel big again. We feel small, but the universe just feels big, and that's what I want. And it's a really good thing. It's come a long way since Classic WoW, because the animations, of course, are a little bit off if you stare at them too long. But, of course, with the engine limitations, it's pretty damn good. The Antorian Waste was a little different. There's something actually it's hard to pull off considering they have one theme, but the Antorian Wastes are kind of like a sunken bluff, which is also the location of the raid. But they have like two unique features. One which got nerfed, which is sadly disappointing. The bombardment of the ship was awesome. I died my first time there, but it didn't bother me. It reminded me of the Cataclysm days when Deathwing would fly over a zone and kill all who were in it. It was a fun thing, but it was sad to see it get nerfed. But I do understand the complaints. Like if you had a world quest that's 3 minutes left, it's going to give you like something you need. Oh, the ship showed up. No, guess you're not doing that world quest. But it was still, I loved it. And just even seeing it get nerfed gave me this sad feeling. But I understand why. The tornado in the Antorian Waste was another really cool feature of the land. It was some of the weather made the zone feel cool. Not to mention the fell pool separating the zone, which you could risk the damage for a quicker route. But of course, there's also more of the Legion crawling around, which made it feel like a stronghold. You had pit lords, you had the generals there, you had everything. It was beautiful. But finally, Macquarie. Now, this is my favorite zone on Argus, and it's getting up there as one of my favorite in World of Warcraft. The city is huge, even though we only get a small portion of the city. But it's still quite a sight from the Vindicar. Seeing Azeroth and all of her blue glory is fantastic. Looking back upon Argus, it's chaotically beautiful as well. On the ground, there's still some trees, building of the Aerodar. Also, something that added a little pizzazz was that all of the void-infested beings that were there. The void pools, the portals, which added an amazing twist on the land. Because, you assume the whole world's fell corrupted. But the void's there, which is not a good thing at all. So we have to talk about the story a little bit as well when I'm giving this review. Because without the story, well, what do you have? You have a beautiful patch. But the story of Argus got off to a little bit of a small start. I was a little bit disappointed. You just take a boat to the Exodore, which I thought we were going to take there, but instead they made a small ship called the Vindicar. I guess Velen wants the Exodore unused in case we fail, then he can flee to a different planet. But the Vindicar is pretty cool. On our way there, Illidan gives us some random spew about the light, slowing Velen down, blah blah blah, and we finally reach Argus and launch the assault. And kill some demons, help secure the Zeladar while meeting two old friends, Illyria and Turelion. They tell us they've been fighting and running for 1,000 years. And even though they've only been gone for about 40, maybe 45 years, give or take. So obviously the Twisting Nether does some stuff with time, which worries me because I'm going to wonder how much time is going to pass since we've been away from Azeroth. We go back after years, like 10 years going to go by. That'd be pretty cool, but you never know. But we rescue Zira and put Light's heart with her, and she begins to speak, giving us this cinematic.
Your true potential, your redemption, lies before you. Let go of your shattered form and embrace the light's power.
I've traded my freedom for power before.
The prophecy must be fulfilled. Your old life has passed. The light will forge you a new one.
It is not yours to take.
The light will heal your scars.
I am my scars.
The light is your destiny.
My destiny is my own. You've doomed us all, betrayer! Your faith has blinded you. There can be no chosen one. Only we can save ourselves.
Now, it's a cool cinematic, but I really wish Blizzard would stop doing 180s with characters. Garrosh being honorable, but an ass. Then he 180'd into an old, god-loving luster for power, vicious being, to someone that wants to forge a true orc horde with his papa. Then you have Sylvanas, caring about no one, then feeling bad for Vol'jin. Then her first order of business as war chief is to claim immortality for herself and ditching the horde. And then now you have Illidan. Illidan was always about me, I, and now it's about us. You know, Illidan was always wanted to save everything by himself. He wanted the power, and now he's like, oh, it's up to us. Only we can stop it, not me. You know, he even rejected the gift because he said he didn't want it. He didn't do what's best for us. What if he was meant to become this holy, all-powerful being? What if it was best for us if he did? But he didn't want to because he was selfish, and now he's like, it's about us. And that's my horrible Illidan. I apologize. It is awful. But whatever. It's just weird, is all I'm saying, okay? There's mixed reactions, even from that cinematic. Some people are saying, oh, Illidan is so cool. You know, his voice was awesome. I'm not even going to deny that. But a lot of people are like, why is he rejecting that gift now? Like, there's no reason for him to reject it. And, again, it's just the 180s with characters that I really dislike. But it's a very small portion of the story. Illidan's still on board. He's still going to help us, so it's good. I digress. We eventually lead into Macquarie, and we meet up with Velen on gathering more power for the Vindicar, so we can lead an assault on the Burning Throne. We also get to meet one of the better characters, I feel, of Argus, and that was the custodian robot guy. You know, the custodian that you wake up and you have to go through the 3 trials. You know, the quest where you have to go through the traps in the home is great, especially his reaction once you complete it. He's like, oh, you did it. All right, here you go. And he seems so disappointed, but it was funny. And then we lead up with Illyria, who's been chatting with an ethereal named Locust Walker. Now, I don't get a good... As soon as I saw I just shook my head. I was like, this is not going to end well. I was like, I already don't like this guy. I guarantee he's going to be in the next expansion, and he's not going to be a good guy. But, what do you expect for someone that's tampering with the Void? You know, we end up doing some things with him. He tells Illyria that you can control the Void, as long as the Void will not corrupt you as long as you're in control of it. Guess what? No one can control the Void. I'm sorry, the Void controls you. It's just the way it goes. We eventually lead into the dungeon to stop the Void corrupted Naru, and in doing so, Illyria gets corrupted by its power. Now, we kept hearing this prophecy about a her and a she from Il'gynoth, and another boss even in the raid up and coming the Burning Throne, which I will not spoil here. But they always talk about a she or a her, like things like, we still have her, or at the hour of her third death, she will usher in our coming. Now, I thought maybe it was Sylvanas, but maybe it's looking like Illyria. We don't know. Maybe she can, maybe she can just control it. Maybe it's nothing. I'm just saying, it wouldn't be one of my videos without me speculating something crazy. It's just the way I gotta do it, right? I've been wrong before, we'll say that. But I don't want to spend too much time on the story. The story was driven, it was great, I'll get to that later. But if you want to know the entire story, please go check out a YouTuber named Nobble87. I really enjoy watching his lore videos, they're really great. He works really hard on bringing lore, so please check out his new video on Argus, the story of Argus. But all of the story was great, and the fact that they released it in weeks was a lot better. Other than just releasing it all at once and having everybody grind through day one, they released it over the course of, I think, a month. I believe it was, no, week 1, 2, 3. I think it was 3 weeks. And so that allowed us time to kind of take in Argus. You did some questing, then you got to do world bosses, or world quests, sorry. Then week 2, you had to do some more, and it kind of eased you into it. And it made me feel like, I guess it was more of a war, because even in a war, you're not going to be done everything in a day. It's going to take time, and I understand that it's a little different, but I like it, and I kind of hope they continue this in the future. And I was always excited for the weeks to come. I was like, oh, I can't wait to start the next quest. I can't wait. So bravo to Blizzard for making us take our time. Now the last point is features. You can buy 9-10 gear by grinding out a currency, which is same old, same old. Blizzard isn't going to change that mid-expansion. I would have liked to have seen something new. All you can do is kill rares for pets, toys, and mounts. Of course, like any other patch so far. But we did get cool invasion points, which gave us a sneak peek at some planets. That was really cool. You had to collect Argus Waystones, and then once you had enough, you could go and kill the world boss. The weekly world boss, I should say. But they nerfed that to only doing 3 smaller invasions, and then the big world boss. I don't mind the change. That change was like, okay, one less currency to grind out. I'm okay with that. In one of these invasion points, it would have been cool to see like a ruined Earth. Like imagine like stepping out like on a bluff and Legion there, and you look over and you see the ruins of New York. It'd be pretty cool. I know Earth doesn't exist probably in that that timeline or that universe, but it's still it would have been something really cool. I guess it's just some weird hope of mine. I guess the last feature is world quests, which are basically the same thing, and they're ramping up. They made it a lot more alt friendly, so as soon as you hit 110, you just get all your relic traits. You don't have to do quest lines anymore. You can just go in and go right to Argus, which is good, which is really good that they made it a lot more alt friendly. Now I'm actually I'm like, you know what, I might level an alt. I might do it. But I guess that's it for the futures, and it doesn't sound like too much, but when you think about all they've given us in other patches, in this one we got 3 new zones, we got a new planet, we got a new raid, which is a lot more than I can say for Warlords of Draenor. Oh, I brought it up, I'm sorry. But anyway, this is the verdict. Although Blizzard has limited carrots to put on the stick, 7.3 gave us a beautiful, chaotic world, which made us feel small and the Legion like an actual threat. The story was driven and not dispensed so quickly that it felt like a grind. It gave us 2 long-lost heroes, and also a looming threat of what's to come. Blizzard has nailed it, and I'm granting this patch the greatest patch in World of Warcraft so far. But please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Was it your favorite patch? Is there another patch that'll always have a special place in your heart? So please subscribe for more wacky speculations or reviews that I hope to keep doing. And I'll see you guys in the next video, and thank you very much for watching.